Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and we are back in with a new Disney Plus Marvel series. This time it is Marvel Studios' Hawkeye. Hawkeye is officially returning in his very own Disney Plus series, also including the amazing, the astonishing, the dashing Kate Bishop. It's going to be introducing Kate Bishop into the MCU, who I believe is a member of the Young Avengers. So I think previous kind of movies and other series we've gotten so far have also kind of taken the liberty of introducing some stuff like I think there's like a Patriot character in in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have Speed and Wiccan from WandaVision as well, and we've had some some minor kind of names in the previous movies too. But I think now people are starting to actually put pieces together and actually realize, oh, they're actually kind of setting up for a potential Young Avengers kind of get together in the future. So this series is going to introduce and kind of cement Kate Bishop into the MCU as well, played by Haley Steinfeld. So very excited to get into that corner of this show. But yeah, but we do have Clint Barton himself actually, played by Jeremy Renner, actually returning as Hawkeye, and this I believe is absolutely going to be like a post-Endgame series too, like actually following on from his kind of time with the Avengers. And I think he is still going to be retired, but I think because of Kate now kind of jumping into the world of superhero archery now, or at least like vigilante archery, she like he might as well just kind of come out of retirement or try and be Hawkeye just to kind of mentor or train her or something. Or I don't know. I'm not really sure like what else it could really explore, because I think I'm kind of trusting that, especially after Endgame and especially after losing Nat and everything, like he's probably kind of ready to actually hang stuff up and properly be with his family, especially after having lost them for 5 years too. So don't know like how extensively he's going to be putting the Hawkeye costume back on, because I think we saw in the trailer, I think it's Kate actually doing her own kind of rendition of the Ronin kind of cosplay, and like her actually trying to be Ronin in front of other criminals, that actually draws him back into it too, because then that kind of sparks stuff on the news, and then it's like people wondering, oh, is Ronin back? Is the archer that terrorized the criminal underworld for 5 years back? Is he doing his thing again? But no, we know it's Kate, so then that kind of prompts him to come back in. So yeah, I think it's gonna be like I think I can very definitely sense like a whole kind of buddy cop kind of like comedy adventure drama thing between them, which will hopefully kind of adapt some kind of comic stories from Hawkeye and Kate Bishop in very, very kind of creative and enjoyable kind of ways. So that would be cool. We have Lucky the pizza dog. We have Lucky, the one-eyed pizza dog. He is gonna. I can just from the trailer alone, I can already tell every scene he's in, he's gonna steal hearts. He is gonna be. Like Sparky walked so that Lucky could run. Sparky walked so Lucky could Lucky is, God forbid anyone kills him in this, because if they do, then they're gonna have a fucking mob with pitchforks and flaming torches on their hands. But Lucky is gonna survive this, and he's gonna live, and he's gonna flourish and thrive, and we're here to see it. He's going to be in this, so that's going to be really cool to see. And I think he is Kate's dog too. He is actually Kate's kind of like a stray that she probably picks up or something. So haven't read the comics on him or any of them, or even Kate. I think I actually did. I think I actually did pick up like one comic a few months ago to prepare for to prepare for Kate's kind of thing, and she was really fun in that. So that's pretty much as far as I've managed to get in this admittedly large and extensive period of time that we've actually been waiting for Hawkeye. So yeah, had plenty of time. Could have picked up any number of comics, but I actually managed to snag one Kate Bishop thing before I did, and I loved it, and I'm definitely going to be picking up more on the way too, so that should be fun. But I mean, with this being an adaptation, I think they're going to be taking like inspirations and stuff, and still trying to do their own thing, and still trying to make it as creative and as fun as they can for even like newcomers and everything. So it should be fun either way. It should be fun. So we have them. We have a Laqua Cox as well, Echo, who's actually going to be getting her own Marvel series too in the future. She's going to be getting her own Marvel solo series, so she's going to be debuting in this. So that's going to be really fun. I think Vera Farmiga is in this too. I love her. I think she's playing Kate's mother as well. She's playing Kate's mother, so she is going to be really interesting in this. So a lot of names, a lot of faces. So it's going to be like a really fun, familiar series, hopefully in that sense too. So it should be enjoyable. And we've had some glimpses at different things, like the Rogers musical. There's a Captain America. I mean, it's called Rogers the musical, but I think we've seen that there are other Avengers and stuff featured. I think the main kind of play did show the Avengers versus Loki and his army from the first Avengers movie. So, you know, it might be. I mean, if it's Rogers, it might be actually like chronicling his adventures down the line. So, like from Avengers, maybe even World War II stuff as well. If they're bringing back like Star Spangled Man with a Plan or something, and then doing Avengers, and then doing like I don't know, doing Bad Blood for Hydra or something. I don't know, like maybe because like, you know, Shield's trust with the world being broken after the Hydra reveal, and then just them doing their own rendition of Bad Blood by Taylor Swift or something. I would die if that happened. Probably not going to happen, but either way, one can dream. But yeah, probably just going to be chronicling Steve's adventures and everything. So there's that. We had some Renaissance stuff, and just glimpses I can remember from the trailer that I watched like 2 or 3 times. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, on to. So I think this premiere actually dropped the first 2 episodes. I think they do hope to actually have this finished by Christmas. So the first 2 episodes have actually been released today, and then they're going to be moving forward with like a 1 episode per week kind of release. So I do hope to get these reactions up as quickly as possible. Hopefully by this weekend, pending any other kind of interruptions or any other kind of you know, like the extended kind of works that kind of happen with editing or copyright or whatever. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got. So just looking forward to this. And now we can actually get into the series premiere of Hawkeye for the reaction. And as you guys will probably know the drill by now, this one will just be the fair use version of the reaction. But if you want the full-length one, which is going to be unedited and you can watch the entire episode along with me, that reaction will be over on Patreon. You just need your own copy of the episode from Disney Plus, and you can sync it up and it'll be good to go. So that one will be just as much fun to watch. But yeah, I'm going to be hitting this a lot, aren't I? I'm going to be hitting this a lot. So yeah, Hawkeye Season 1, Episode 1. I mean, I don't know how many seasons it's going to have, if it's going to have 2 or 3, or if it's going to be like a limited run thing like WandaVision, or what's going to happen. Because then I don't know if they might, you know, move Kate into a movie or give Kate her own series after this, or what's going to happen. But we don't know. We can only wait and find out. So yeah, either way, Hawkeye Season 1, Episode 1. Let's go. Also, very highly anticipating Yelena. I forgot to mention that. Can't believe I forgot to mention that. Very highly anticipating Yelena. I can't wait to see her pop up in this, wherever she pops up, however she pops up. If it's a fight scene of her versus Clint, whatever happens. 2012. Oh, the Avengers. Are we getting a flashback? Chitauri.
The choices they make in the face of it.
Is he gonna die? Is there gonna be like some kind of explosion? Like they're gonna shoot out the building or something? Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. I'm gonna love Vera in this, aren't I? I am actually gonna love Vera Farmiga in this. Yeah, Chitauri, they're coming. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is a good shot. Oh, this is a good one shot. This is a great one shot, yeah. This is a big house. Even for New York, I feel like this is a really big house. Yeah, there's no way this is like in like an apartment or anything. No, it could be an apartment, maybe. You know, could be like a high-rise or something. Hawkeye's gonna take it out, right? Hawkeye takes it out, yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, with that arrow. Yeah, that particular arrow. Hawkeye took it out. Can she see him from there? She can see him. Oh, okay, oh, that's cool. Okay, oh, even cutting it back to the movie. Oh, using the archive footage. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's good. I'm sorry, but the way this is formatted, it genuinely looks like a commercial. The way this is actually being shot, it kind of looks like a commercial. Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's cool though. That's cool though. She was saved by Hawkeye, and she even saw him in action.
They won't come back.
How do you know?
Because the heroes showed them what would happen.
So does Eleanor support the Avengers then? Is she one of the people who actually stands with them? Because that kind of line of dialogue has me thinking. Yeah.
I need a bow and arrow.
Oh, she's gonna jump into archery. She's gonna be like Hawkeye. Oh. Oh, we're getting opening titles? Like, not just the title card, like actual opening titles? Oh. Okay. We have actual opening titles. That's new. That's very new for a Marvel series. Yeah. So she spent her whole life training. She spent her whole life training in martial arts and archery. Yeah, okay. The music sounds good too. Music sounds good. Stain Tower, like Obadiah Stane. That kind of stain, Obadiah Stane. I'm actually really excited to see Haley in this. I'm actually really, really excited to see Haley in this. Her eyes. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah. That got it.
This is bad.
Is she gonna flip off the roof with her bow and arrows? Is she gonna do a Hawkeye? Her clock came down. The whole clock came down. Oh, Clint taking his kids to see. Even Clint's not satisfied with this. Even Clint's not impressed. Oh, jeez. Do they know Hawkeye's actually present? Is he being portrayed accurately in this at all? Oh, God. Are they really? Are they easy on the eyes? Oh, no. Yeah, Black Widow. Oh. Oh, this series is gonna be a tough watch. This series is gonna be a tough watch. Yeah. Oh God. How long has it been after Endgame? How long has it been after her sacrifice?
Did you turn
Oh,
your hearing aid off?
he has a hearing aid, just like the comics.
I know what happens.
They gave him a hearing aid, just like the
No, it wasn't
comics.
there.
Yeah.
It's that guy.
That is so cool. They actually gave him a hearing aid, just like in the comics. Oh, okay. Is that because of Endgame, or is it because of, you know, has he always needed one but they just never gave him one? Either way, he has one now. That's really cool. Oh boy. It might be Coulson actually. That guy in the suit might be Coulson. I get Coulson vibes. And I don't know who the hell that is. The guy who just slid in. Is that Ant-Man? Going into atoms or something? Is it meant to be Ant-Man? Thanos was right. Oh my god. Oh god. That's what people are writing in the bathroom now. Thanos is right. R/Thanos did nothing wrong. Really?
Yeah. Now it's not really the appropriate time.
Yeah, you're literally like 5 inches away from each other, and you're. Wow, you're still waiting. You're still waiting.
Now a better time.
Dude's persistent. Gotta give him that. Dude is very persistent.
I know everyone misses her, but she was your best friend.
Oh, don't worry. Her sister's about to show up and whoop some ass. So eagerly awaiting that. Eagerly awaiting that.
Well, you look amazing.
She looks amazing in red. God damn.
What are we looking
Amazing
off
in
this
red.
Charity auction.
I feel like she could easily play an older Black Widow. If they wanted to cast an older Black Widow, then Vera Farmiga could easily play an older Black Widow. Like an older Natasha Romanoff. Yeah.
I know that young people think they're invincible and rich people think they're invincible, and you have always been both, so take it from someone who hasn't.
Why don't you start making it up to me by putting on that red dress in your bedroom and coming with me tonight?
Kate in red. God.
I still remember when you got your black belt at 50.
So she is already trained. She's already fairly well trained. Yeah, archery and martial arts and, you know, presumably gymnastics too, perhaps. Yeah. She's already a young archer in the making, and she's got a samurai sword.
Jack.
Who the fuck is this? Jack.
An unexpected surprise.
Who the hell's Jack? I already don't like him. I already don't like him.
So it was. I love you guys.
Love you too.
It's gonna be the best Martin Christmas ever.
I feel like Lila might be pretty pivotal during this series too. Yeah.
Thank you. It's necessary. You saved our city.
Thank you.
So they are aware that an Avenger is dining with them. Yeah. Was no one at the theater aware that one of the actual Avengers was present during the entire musical? Did no one want to get his opinion on how they performed?
Get back to work.
Okay, she's not.
Excuse me, dear, would you...
Sorry, I'm not a waitress.
You're the little bishop girl.
Yes, I am.
I'm on.
She looks so good. Oh god, the silver black suit tie, please. No. I'm not ready for this. I'm actually not ready for this. God, I've seen it in promos and it's still.
Ellen and Jack.
Oh, they're getting married.
Secretive little lovebirds.
Are they getting married? Oh god.
Believe me, I've done
Jeez.
everything in my power
Me.
to talk him out of it.
Oh god, even the tie being loose. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be thirsty. I'm gonna be thirsty. That is.
Quite determined.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
Sir.
Another Armand, I see.
Another Armand.
I'm
Two.
Armand the third, and he's Armand the seventh.
Oh, the third and the seventh.
Quite
Yeah.
You're engaged?
Oh, well, I guess the beans are out of the bag.
Jack making a beans joke. Oh, that's funny. I am so glad she didn't wear red. I'm so glad she didn't. I mean, she'd look amazing in red too, but I'm so glad she didn't wear red. Thank you, Haley. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. Thank you so much, Haley.
Heck of a parrot, huh?
Lucky! Lucky, the goodest boy. Oh, Lucky. Oh, and he's running off. Where's he running off to?
For our first item of the evening, we will be traveling back in time.
Oh, you
We'll
will?
start the bidding for this magnificent skull at
Oh,
$2
a skull.
million.
Jesus, that is a
$2 million.
massive skull.
2 million, better be looking at 2.1. I've got 2 million
Wow.
right here, 2.1.
Gary sent me to work here. Assuming if you want to bother Gary.
She has really nice eyes. She has really nice eyes, yeah. Gary.
I'm Gary.
Well, you told her, dude.
You see, that's the problem, Gary.
Yeah.
You don't even know my name.
Yeah, you just
You
saw
know,
someone.
This is not gonna work out. I quit.
Quit? Hold on.
Well, too bad. You can't remember who you employ and now she quits. That's the signs of all the workings of a terrible manager.
From the wreckage of the Avengers compound.
Ronin sword!
Now, you may recall,
Ronin sword.
decimated the criminal underworld of this city.
Oh,
almost
God.
Completely annihilating.
Oh,
But
is
they
that
had
what
to
Jack's after
organize
because he
crime.
collects samurai swords?
Ronin
Or is it what
brought a
Armand's after?
brutal form of justice. The companion piece, the Ronin suit.
They got the suit. They got the sword and the suit. Oh, they got the sword and the suit. Are the Russians here for it? Are the Russians after the Ronin kind of pieces? Oh, yeah. Okay. Careful you don't activate them all. Actually, you know what? Don't be careful. You know what? Let's just see what happens. See what happens. Activate it. Don't activate it in your pocket. Let's just see what happens. Oh god, what's Kate gonna be able to do? Is she gonna escape? Is she gonna fight? Can she get the suit? If she gets the suit, because then maybe the suit that she actually wears is real. Maybe she doesn't just wear like some kind of cosplay. Oh, here comes Ronin. Oh, here comes the Ronin, the new Ronin.
Hello.
No, can she? Oh, she can get him. She can get him. She's had martial arts training. She's a black belt, you know. You know, she can get him. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just dual wield wine bottles. Yeah, dual wield wine bottles. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Dual wielding wine. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was. Oh no. Oh boy. What the hell? What the hell even was that? Was that? Oh, she broke the bar. Oh, there we go. Oh, oof, oof, oof. Come on, Kate, you got this. Come on. Throat, neck, groin, face, eyeballs, nuts, anything you can hit. Anything. Oh, God. Oh, oh, oh. Come on. Oh, yeah, flip him. What's she gonna do? Is she gonna tag team? Oh, that was good. That was good. Avengers compound. Oh, a watch with the Avengers compound. Oh, yeah, oh, okay, I think that's... Is that Lucky? I don't know if that's Lucky. That doesn't... That must be Lucky. That must be Lucky. Yeah, you get him, Lucky. You get him, Lucky. You get him, Lucky. Yeah, you get him, Lucky. Great. Oh, Lucky and Kate reunited. Lucky and Kate. Haha. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Sweet mother of... Yeah, flips for days. Flips for days. Oh, good. Oh, jeez. Oh, I think he's actually meant to be one of the main cast. Yeah, I think that's Frafi. I think that might be Frafi. Yeah, okay. Oh, so he's with them. He's with the Russians. Interesting. Okay.
A ninja saved a dog.
He's gonna recognize the Ronin suit.
Isn't that awesome, Dad?
Yeah. Yeah, he remembers. He remembers. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at him.
Food. You want food? Of
Yeah.
course. Oh.
Of course he is, you know, attacking bad guys is hungry work. He needs some Scooby snacks. It's a pizza. He needs a pizza dog. He needs pizza. Yeah. Give him pizza. Give him all the pizza.
Go on.
Oh, just a one slice. Wow, okay. Yeah.
Do not destroy this apartment.
You can at least order him more pizza, you know. One slice is really enough for a pizza dog. Sounds a lot more dedicated than one slice. Oh, stealing candy. Monogram. He has candy in his own name? He really has candy in his own damn name? Jesus. Oh, is he dead? Is Armand dead? Armand has been murdered. Who done it? Who did it? We're gonna get a murder mystery with this season. Okay, do not be spotted in the slightest. Don't be spotted, Kate, not in the slightest. Yeah, cue the screams. Oh no. Oh, that's the big guy. That's the big guy. Oh yeah, go for the nuts. Yeah. Oh, you're really gonna try the cars within 5 feet of them? Oh god, it's not gonna work. Oh, maybe it will work. Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, just hit all the switches. Hit all of them. Oh god, the windshield. Oh yeah, that one's yeah. No. Oh, Clint. Oh yeah, Clint's here. Yeah, he's here to clean up. Oh boy.
Come on!
Yeah.
You're a Hawkeye.
And who the hell are you?
Kate Bishop. Meet Kate. Ah, that is the end. That is the ending. The marvelous ending. Is there like an end credits thing? Is there end credits? I don't believe so. I do not believe so. I'm just gonna let it run anyway. So, yeah, that was fun. That was actually pretty fun. Yeah, that was really fun. Okay, so very, very fun premiere. Very, very fun series premiere. Yeah, no, that was good. So starting right off the bat with you know, Kate Bishop and everything, actually, you know, like I think it felt like you know, I think within reason, it also just felt like predominantly more Kate centric too. Actually introducing her as a character, actually just like reminders that, you know, Hawkeye still in the show. It is still a Hawkeye show, but then actually showing off the, you know, like you know, this series is also designed to actually build up Kate to be the next big kind of archer within the Young Avengers and to be the next big archer within the MCU and everything. So I think it, like, for that reason and within reason, it actually felt justifiably more kind of Kate centric, which I loved. Already, you know, in love with Haley as already in love with Kate Bishop and Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. You know, she is doing a marvelous job so far, no pun intended. Or if you want the pun intended, then you can take it as pun intended. But you know, she already has like a really kind of really interesting kind of vibe about her, and like a really interesting dynamic with like the people in her lives, both good and bad and stuff. And she's already kind of being passed off as that kind of like she's very, very ambitious in life, and she kind of like knows what she wants. And like from the moment that she was saved by Hawkeye back in 2012 too, like that, like it's when she actually like saw him in action that she realized, oh yeah, she needs a bow and arrow. She's gonna get into that same stuff. She's gonna train herself to become the next best thing, and she's actually gonna, you know, she's gonna strive for it. So she has goals and she's gonna achieve them. So that much alone was just you know, it was admirable, appreciation worthy and stuff. So seeing her actually putting in the effort and actually standing her ground towards the end, like in that kind of like a manner, was really fun to see too. So there's that, and then she just kind of like just seems like, I think it's like I think it kind of shows like a resourcefulness too, because I think she you know, like given the house that she grew up in, like she clearly comes from like a fairly wealthy kind of background, but then she does still kind of she does like she I think she's not really kind of like lavish, like she doesn't really seem to be like that much of like a lavish person, like she still kind of like, you know, earns her own way. She still has her own place, and it's not it's not anywhere near as fancy as what her actual childhood place is, as what her mother's place is, but she still, it's enough for her, and so she doesn't really feel the need to be that, like to actually live that kind of a lifestyle or to actually be that kind of person. She still just kind of gets by on whatever she needs and whatever she has. So I think that much is cool to see. But yeah, and I think she has like I mean I don't know if she's in some kind of like a I think it must be like some kind of like an academia kind of thing, or like some kind of club or some kind of like school or something. I mean she has other kind of friends who are in like the same kind of like archery club. I think that she's in, so I think it must be like some kind of, you know, like sports thing for youth or for up and comers or whatever. But she was dared to fire. I think she was dared to activate the bell, to actually start ringing the bell with an arrow. So then she did that. But then I mean, even watching the trailer, I was really curious as to how like one arrow could bring the entire thing down. I mean, again, if you're skilled enough and if you're using the right arrows, then I guess anything possible. Which I guess, you know, with Kate that was definitely the case. But I was still wondering, like, you know, like the bell itself, like, like I think it felt like at least more than, I mean, because like she used two arrows. Like I think she used one and then that failed, and then she used the second one. She actually attached like another thing to it that allowed it to attach to the rope and everything. So she only ever used two arrows and stuff. And the first one literally bounced off in a way that had no impact on the bell whatsoever. But the second one started ringing. So I think maybe it's like a really old bell that shouldn't have been rung, because then it was really old and it had cracks in it, so maybe like it starting to ring actually kind of was a signifier that, oh, like then it's actually starting to move and it's starting to decay even more, and now it's actually bringing it didn't really bring the whole thing crashing down. I think the bell came down, and like towards the end, like one side, or like one of the clock faces on one side of the tower came down, so she rang the bell, sure, but then she also ended up actually destroying said bell, so no one else could really kind of be dared to do it again either. So she is under her mother's words, she is an overachiever. So there's that. So then like her childhood too. She is so we start off in 2012. We start off with the Chitauri invasion. I think 2012 too. I mean anytime we get like a flashback in the MCU, I'm always kind of like just almost instinctively on the lookout for like, okay, so we're going back to say 2012 or 22 or 2007 or 2010 or whatever, whenever we go back, I'm always like, okay, what major thing happened at this date, like on this date, that we might see referenced in this flashback, if that is the case and stuff. So I think we had it we've had it multiple times in Shield too, but I think in Shield, VJ Nadir and his sister Ellen and Nadir, they lost their mother in 2012 with the Chitauri actually blowing out their apartment and then her dying too. So with this one, I think Kate suffered the same thing too. Like she lost her father to the Chitauri and everything. So yeah, so I think as soon as it said 2012, I was like, okay, this, and I think it being a Hawkeye series too, it's gonna be, I think the likelihood of them showing a 2012 flashback in a Hawkeye series without actually showing Hawkeye during the Chitauri thing, which he was very, very present in, is highly unlikely. So they did do it, and they did it in like a very, very slow burn kind of way towards the end too, which is like until we heard that kind of ominous zoom of the Chitauri jet ski things going past the window, I was like, until then I was like, okay, maybe we're not going to see the Chitauri, or maybe it's just like a slow burn thing, or maybe it's like something far more subtle. But then no, they go full out. They actually blow open one of the front rooms and everything, and then the Stark Tower, as damaged as it is in the foreground, and you see the aliens flying past, and one of them is coming towards Kate, and then Hawkeye saves her. Clint actually saves her, so she, I think again, it's like I don't know if it's actually like that, like to do with the color grading or the way that it was shot, or like the type of cameras it was shot with. But I think like some shots, honestly, honest to God, some shots, and even the way they framed the distant shots of Hawkeye himself in the distance. I mean, because they did still bring some archive footage back from the Avengers movie, and you could definitely tell with that film's quality. Not that it was bad, but with that clip quality, you could definitely tell, oh, they just pulled some footage from the actual Avengers movie, and then they actually did some, like, they actually created some new kind of different perspective shots to show, because I think we had Hawkeye jumping off that roof in slow motion in the first movie, but this time we actually see him actually going off at full speed and flying into the window. So yeah, but honestly, like some of the shots in that, especially some of the shots of young Kate too, it honestly looked like it was actually a commercial. Honestly, like the way it was formatted or whatever, it honestly looked like it was like at least color graded or something to actually look like some kind of commercial. Like maybe they're promoting archery this way, like, oh, you want to save the world? Try archery. You can, shoot aliens down with arrows and trick arrows and everything all the live long day. So, pick up a bow and arrow and try your local archery club today. You can be just like Hawkeye. I mean, that is quite literally what happened to Kate too. That is quite literally what happened to Kate. She saw Hawkeye in action. She was saved by Hawkeye, and she saw him with a bow and arrow and thing, and then she was inspired from that day onwards to actually pick up archery and to actually engage herself in various other kind of, physical extracurriculars, and actually train herself in as many ways as possible to actually become the next best thing. So you know, she has like she took incentive, like that was incentive, like an alien invasion and a guy with a bow and arrow saving her from said aliens was a great incentive for her to actually pick up something new, to pick up a new sport and pick up some new, you know, kind of life skills and stuff. So yeah, like if that's not great promotion for sport, then I don't know what is. I really do not know what is. So yeah, so that was cool. So we had them, and then the father, Russell Bishop, he died. He was nowhere to be seen after that bedroom scene, and then you know, afterwards, I think, you know, it was revealed that he actually did die. So she lost her father from the Chai too. So that happened. R.I.P. to him. And I think I recognize the actor from the father, the actor for the father somewhere, but honestly, it's just one of those faces I recognize. I can't always I can't always place those faces or actually pinpoint exactly where I've seen them, but it's definitely just one of those faces I actually recognize. I think possibly from like another kind of movie or like from another TV show or something, but I'm not too sure. So Babe, he didn't really last long either way. He was in it for literally like 5, maybe 10 minutes at push. So, you know, he had his, you know, he is the motivator. Like his death is what motivates Kate to pick up the bow and arrow and start protecting her and her family and her mother and everything. So, yeah. And something else I actually picked up on too was because I think like throughout the MCU, like throughout both the movies and the TV shows, we've had that kind of long-standing conflict and kind of like that kind of division between the public and between members of the public and even members of government too, like that kind of division of like, you know, of like whether or not people are for the Avengers or against the Avengers. And I think Civil War was like the kind of focal point of actually analyzing that kind of division and that kind of argument of like, you know, like do we need these people? Do we not? Like, are they kind of safe to be around? Are they, you know, like, are they useful? Are they more deadly than they are helpful? Are they this, that, or the other? So then, you know, I think it's been interesting actually seeing like how even in like Shield as well, like seeing how that kind of heroism and stuff is explored and seeing how support for that kind of thing is explored too. So I think with the Avengers especially, I think, you know, like what they explored in Civil War was that, you know, like so some people see them as heroes and some people are great for them and some people are grateful for their work, but then others just see them as like masked vigilantes going around causing more destruction and not even cleaning up or not even actually trying to, you know, decrease destruction or damage or anything and doing their own thing. So hearing the dialogue from Eleanor Bishop as well, like Kate asking her like, you know, oh, what if the aliens come back and do this all over again? And then they're like, you know, and then Eleanor was like, you know, like they won't because the heroes showed them what would happen if they do. So I think that kind of dialogue from her too. I think it definitely seemed like more supportive than anything else. Like she actually recognized and acknowledged what the heroes did to save the city and be like, you know, the heroes actually taught them a lesson and said, don't ever come back here again because we will more than happily do this again. So, you know, I think that kind of gave me the vibes that like, oh, she might be, I mean on the one hand it could just, because I feel like, you know, I mean, I feel like if she really wasn't in support of them, then she easily could have just said something else like, don't worry, they're all gone now, like the heroes made sure they all disappeared or something. But then it's like the way she worded that too, like, oh, the heroes showed them what would happen if they tried this again. So that means that, you know, like the heroes are here to stay, and she acknowledges that too. So like that phrasing kind of gave me the kind of gave me the feeling that she actually like that she acknowledges what the heroes did and the fact that they're here to stay, and then they can easily do it to anyone else who tries the same thing, like human or alien or otherwise and stuff. So I am curious to like as the series progresses through, I am curious to see what her actual like if her stance on heroes and vigilantes is going to change, or if it's going to be kind of explored even more, like if once like if and when she meets Hawkeye, if she's actually going to be supportive of him and actually be like, you know, you inspired my daughter to do all this stuff and everything, and you've been a hero to the city and all that kind of stuff, or what's going to happen. But that kind of dialogue just kind of, you know, stuck with me and kind of made me think and like kind of still makes me think about how like that kind of thing, and especially because like, you know, again, Hawkeye is like, you know, like I think we've had it with we've kind of had it with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, like, you know, Falcon, you know, Sam, he is also like a normal human being but with the wing pack and everything, so he can still fly, he still has the technology that allows him to do what he can do. And with Hawkeye, like the most he has is the trick arrows and everything, but besides from that, he's still a regular human. He's still, you know, just like a he's just a spy, basically. He's like a super spy. He's a master assassin, like Natasha was. God, saying those words actually hurts. Saying those words, like, I actually felt a tinge in my heart when I said was and Natasha in the same sentence. So shows you just how well I'm gonna do with this series. Shows you just how well I'm gonna do. So yeah, but he is a master assassin. He is a master assassin. So he still has skills. He still has years of experience of defying even the most deadly of enemies and situations. So he still has that going for him, but then he is also still human. He's still very, very human. So I think it's going to be an interesting exploration of him kind of showcasing exactly how he gets out of these situations and how he fights through and what he does and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. And we have opening titles too. That really took me away, because I mean, the Netflix shows had opening titles. I think from what I remember, like the Marvel Netflix shows, like in terms of live action anyway, in terms of actual Marvel live action TV, they had opening titles, like they actually opening credits and everything. They had like music and titles, like they had opening titles and really good ones. Like, I had like really great opening titles. They had it, like the Netflix ones had it. I think the other I think Runaways had it. Shield didn't. I mean, on the one hand, I love the Shield opening like title card too much, but then I do kind of wonder. I mean, I actually might look it up. I actually might actually try and look it up and see if someone. I haven't actually done that yet. I actually might actually look it up to see if anyone's actually had a crack at like doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. opening titles and seeing how those kind of credits would work. But seeing it in this was actually really good. It was really interesting too, because I think I mean, it's not unusual for a streaming series, because I think even Stranger Things does it. I'm sure plenty of other kind of streaming shows and like these kinds of streaming shows actually do it too. So it's not really the most kind of surprising thing, but I think in terms of this having opening credits, I think it's kind of surprising, because I think WandaVision didn't. WandaVision did for a while, because like when WandaVision was actually parodying other shows and other kind of like old American pop culture shows, I think they were American pop culture shows when they were parodying older American shows, like they parodied those opening credits, but then they never actually did their own original kind of WandaVision opening credits with magic or tech or anything like that. And like they only had the ending credits, and Falcon and Winter Soldier had the same thing. And What If had the opening monologue. I mean, What If had the opening monologue thing. That might have been the exception. So again, not surprising, not really kind of, I mean, maybe unexpected, but certainly not kind of, surprising. I mean, what would that work? Not unexpected. I mean, so expected, but not like. Okay, well, it surprised me that they would have it, but actually, like I think the fact that they would attempt it doesn't really surprise me, but the fact that they actually do fully have it, because I think they could easily have a crack at it and see how it would look, but then just not go forward with it if they didn't really feel good about it. But then no, they actually did still go forward with the opening credits, and it looks great. I think the music, the main theme, if that's what it is, it sounds really great, really catchy, and even the kind of art style of the animation too looks really fun. Actually, I think I'm wondering if it's going to change by the episodes or if it's actually going to stay the same thing. Because I think with this one being a Kate-centric episode, I think they actually did show like give us like an animated rundown of Kate's life, like her growing up after that kind of battle, and actually her achieving all these different medals and actually engaging in all these different kind of extracurriculars, and actually her doing her archery, her doing, I think probably gymnastics was thrown in there somewhere, like for her movement, for her kind of actual acrobats and movements and everything. So her doing that, and her doing martial arts, and her actually training herself in all the ways that she could think of to actually be the next best thing to Hawkeye, and her, because I think she is just, I think in the comics, I think she does occasionally take up the Hawkeye mantle, but I think besides from that, she just kind of goes by Kate Bishop. She doesn't really, I don't think she really kind of has her own superhero name. I think she just kind of, when necessary, she takes up the Hawkeye mantle, but then otherwise she's just kind of Kate or Kate Bishop or anything. So there's that. But yeah, so like a rundown of her life and what she's achieved and what she's done and how far she's come and everything. So I think that art style is really good, and that kind of story kind of progression in the opening credits itself is actually like a really fun thing to see. So that's cool. So I do wonder if they're gonna keep that the same thing, or if they're actually gonna update it with like a new kind of story every time. So maybe if this one we actually get like Kate, but then the next one we actually get Clint, and then maybe the next episode we actually get more of like a Clint-centric episode, actually exploring what he's been up to in all these years after Endgame. I think they haven't. I don't know if they actually mentioned how long it's been after Endgame. Like, 'cause I think WandaVision and Falcon were meant to be like a few months, like a few months away from it and stuff. And I think Far From Home took place like a few months afterwards too. So I think I don't know if this actually stretches. I don't know like if this is meant to take place at the same time as any of the other shows. If it's meant to take place at like the same time as like Far From Home or WandaVision. Because I mean, if this takes place at the same time as WandaVision, then it would be and explain her as to why Clint doesn't really know about Wanda, or he doesn't really kind of know what she's up to, or he doesn't really know to actually go after her, or to actually kind of look her up and see what's happening with her. And then he might not know about the Falcons. I mean, he might hear about this stuff, but then he might. I think him being him, I can also definitely see him being like, you know what, these guys are all trained heroes and they're all adults for another thing, so they can all handle their own shit. I've got enough stuff on my own plate going on. He wants to spend time with his family too. He lost them for 5 years, but to be fair, everyone did. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just taking like a Christmas kind of break to himself or something. So yeah, but either way, cool opening titles. Really cool opening sequence. Then we had the Rogers musical, and I don't know how many people are actually going to enjoy that. I really don't know how many people in the audience, like how many people, in the audience there, or even how many people actually watching the show are going to enjoy that, because then, truth be told, it does not seem like the kind of thing you have to take seriously. It really seems like the most parodical and most kind of like, not satirical, but like the most parodical thing that you could possibly see in this kind of series. Like it seems like they're doing it just for the fun of it. Like even the writers themselves coming up with that idea for the show, it seems like a really good kind of like fun and messy thing that they came up with just for this. It doesn't really seem like anything we're gonna like revisit too much. It seems like a one-off kind of thing, and like, you know, them giving it to us in the first episode as well. It's like a, you know, like on the one hand it's like, oh, Clint is taking his kids to see it, but then it's also like, you know, okay, don't expect much from this. And it's like, you know, because if they had actually kept it like for a few more episodes, if they had actually kept it out of the way for a few more episodes, and people might end up thinking, oh, there must be something worth waiting for, it must be something we're meant to wait for or something. But no, it's just like a really stupid and silly and funny take on the Battle of New York and stuff, and seemingly exclusively on the Battle of New York too. So again, it's called Rogers the Musical, so I think the title alone is very Cap centric. So I don't know if they're actually going to have different nights and different like different showings, have different battles. So like one again is the Avengers, the other one is Civil War maybe, and stuff. And I mean, if they cover Infinity War, then if they actually have people just getting dust thrown on them as they collapse to the floor, then that's gonna be a whole new level of mockery. So yeah, but this one was the Avengers thing, and I think they had all the Avengers there, and I think that guy in the suit must have been Coulson. I mean, I'm gonna just go with the fact that guy must have been Coulson, like a really poor take on Coulson, because that is not what Coulson looks like at all. So I'm gonna say it's like a really piss poor take on Coulson, because I can't imagine him being Tony Stark. I really can't imagine that being Tony Stark, because Iron Man was there. Iron Man actually was there as Iron Man, so, or at least like some guy playing Iron Man. But then I think one of the biggest things I'm wondering is, like, you know, did anyone actually know that the real Hawkeye was in the audience? Like did no one know that Clint Barton himself was present? And because then he was recognized at the restaurant, the actual kind of I think the owner or the chef or someone at the restaurant recognized him and said, oh, it's on that, like, food tonight is on the house because you saved us, you saved our lives, our city and everything. So he was recognized there. So then I do wonder if no one actually recognized him. And like he even stood up by himself to actually walk out. So I kind of wonder, like, you know, did no one really recognize he was there, or did they just, you know, like, because then I think it's not really uncommon for people even in real life to just kind of like spot celebrities and in public, but then still kind of leave them alone and actually leave them to their own privacy and everything. So then, you know, like majority cases, you know, you get people who go up to celebrities and actually ask them. So I mean, even that guy in the bar. Majority of the time, I think majority of the time you do get people who actually recognize celebrities and instantly kind of take that once in a lifetime opportunity to actually get a photo or an autograph. But then that guy, I mean, you know, again, like situations like that have happened. Like I think celebrities have actually, you know, talked about being approached even in the most intimate of actual occasions. Like actually, you know, even when they're in the middle of actually doing their business, people do still approach them and actually ask them for pictures and stuff, and then they just like, sometimes they even actually just like, I think I can't remember who it was, but I think one actor actually said he, you know, told the guy to wait outside, but then the guy literally waited outside of his actual cubicle and was still waiting there when he actually finished and came out. He actually took a while. So, you know, some people just, you know, are either persistent and or they have no sense of boundaries. So that does still happen. But then I think in other cases, I think people do still kind of report, like, you know, like, oh, I saw this person out on the street today, but then I was like, you know what, they're still human, so I'm just going to leave them to their own business. I'm sure they've got like a, you know, busy day ahead of them and stuff. So some people do still leave celebrities to their own privacy, which is respectful and stuff. So I think I'm guessing like for most of the people in that theater, that must have been the case. Like, oh, they see the real Hawkeye getting up and walking out, but then it's like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna leave him to his own thing. I'm still here enjoying the musical. So yeah, except for that one, except for that one guy in the urinal. That one guy in the urinal just had to get that picture. And I mean, at the urinal, like he asks him at the urinal when they both got their. Presumably they both got their bits out, they're doing their thing, and then in the middle is like, you know, hey, can I grab a photo with you? Like he's like I really don't know what kind of selfie he was looking for, but either way, he just had he was feeling bold. He was feeling bold, and he asked. And even when Clint went to wash his hands, he still asked. And then I don't know. Presumably he got that. Presumably he got a picture, but it just wasn't like the happiest picture. It was just Clint being like, okay, take the picture. Okay, great, let's go, and stuff. So there was that, but no, that guy was there. So yeah, I think so yeah, because he was recognized at the restaurant and stuff, I'm really curious as to whether or not there was air. Because I think for me, I think that one seems a lot more casual, and I think it seems a lot more kind of like a general kind of being noticed in public thing. But then I'd be more curious to know if there was anyone who any of the performers on the stage who might have sneaked a peek at the guest list and saw that Clint Barton and family were booked to see it, and then they thought, oh great, we'll just catch Hawkeye's opinion, like the real Hawkeye's opinion on our rendition of the Battle of New York after the show. But then no, that never happened. So yeah, because then I think even he just didn't really see that into it. Like it didn't, like none of this happened. Like none of what you're saying about happened. And then even his kids were like barely into it and everything. Then of course they mentioned Black Widow. And then of course him, like his hearing dimmed down, and he just kind of blacked out, and he was just remembering her, and he just from that point on, I figured this series was going to have its moments of being a hard watch. This series is going to have its moments of being like a very, very tough watch, a very difficult watch and everything. So I'm not in any way prepared for that, but I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna power through because it's what Natasha would have wanted. So yeah. But then on the plus side, like at some point soon, I pray soon we get Yelena. I'm praying at some point soon we actually get Yelena, and she can. I mean, she's gonna come in busting Hawkeye's ass, because then she's been told by Valentina that he killed her sister, so that she's gonna come in kicking ass and taking names, and then eventually calm down and stuff, and you know, then she's gonna team up with Kate. Oh god, Yelena and Kate. I have no words. I apologize in advance for the person I'm gonna become when they team up and when they start kicking ass and taking names together in duality, you know, when they start doing their thing, their teamwork thing. I'm gonna become a complete different. I'm gonna become more of who I actually am, and then just, you know, it might be, you know, overwhelming to watch, but you know, again, for that I apologize in advance for, you know, for that stuff. But it's, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah. But you know, I think seeing that kind of reference right off the bat for Natasha, I think it being like a fairly minor thing to it, but then even the daughter, I think even Lila, his daughter, actually mentioning it later on, like, you know, like everyone misses her, but she was your best friend, you knew her better than almost anyone, so you have every right to feel the way you do and to react the way you do and to, you know, feel overwhelmed and you know, reminded of that kind of dark time. So I think I'm wondering just how much of that kind of past of Natasha, like, they actually might bring up, and especially if they're bringing her sister into this, then, you know, she might have more stories to tell, and she might actually say more stuff or do more things and stuff. So then she might be the catalyst of actually revisiting Natasha's history too. So yeah, and then if she mentions Budapest too, if she actually mentions Budapest to Clint, and then he kind of like he tells a completely different story as to what they did while they were, you know, undercover and like on the run in Budapest and like stuck in the vents and everything. If he has a completely different story of what happened, and then she's like, oh, that's not what Natasha told me. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to that. And easily one of my favorite additions, because I think this is actually I think this is something I've actually known about for a few years because of like people talking about it on like social media and like on Tumblr and everything, and like on Twitter, like people actually kind of trying to hype up comic book Clint and actually trying to make them like actually encouraging the people within, like the people behind the MCU, like Kevin Feige and everything, to actually make MCU Clint a bit more like comic Clint. And I think this might just be the first step. Clint now has a hearing aid. He has a hearing aid, and yeah, I've known about this little tidbit about him for like for a few years now. I think since the Avengers came out, they introduced all these characters. I think people did, you know, obviously naturally talk about like, you know, like comparing them to their comic book counterparts and everything. And I think MCU Clint is actually he is canonically deaf too. He is actually canonically deaf. I don't know if it's in both ears or just the one ear, but he is deaf to the point that he also like he actually communicates using sign language. He actually does sign pretty consistently and pretty regularly too. And stuff, and he has he uses a hearing aid and everything, and so I think not just that, but I think one of the cooler, more kind of considerate kind of tidbits from other characters too, like, you know, like I think, I don't know if Spider-Man does it, but I think I know that Deadpool, because he has a mask, because I think Clint can lip read too. Clint can sign, and he can lip read in the comics, but then I think I don't know if Spider-Man's done this, but I think Deadpool, because he knows he has a mask and he knows that Clint lip reads too. So then whenever Deadpool comes across Hawkeye, however briefly, when he actually communicates with him, he actually lifts up his mask just to expose his lips, so then that way that Clint can actually read his lips. Which I mean, Deadpool, Deadpool is, you know, like the most somewhat ironically the most kind of wholesome character there is. Like, he is just like he will respect you right before he kills you. Like, even if he comes across like a, you know, like any kind of henchman, like he will be at least semi-respectful before he kills them. But then with Hawkeye, you know, he is that considerate, and he is that kind of inclusive towards him. Like, you know, he doesn't just kind of like pretend that, you know, he's something else or that he's better on anything, but he actually does take the time to actually like roll up his mask to expose his lips and everything, and he actually does, you know, like actually allow Clint to read his lips so that he can do it that way and everything. So I don't know if I mean, I kind of presume he might do that because he doesn't know sign, or maybe he just kind of like maybe because I don't know which one's actually easier for Clint in the comics, if he actually signs easier or if he actually lip reads easier. But he can still talk, he's not mute, but he's just kind of like deaf, and he has like a hearing aid and stuff. So also presuming it is just like in one ear, but then he does still do that kind of stuff. So yes, actually seeing it in this too, I think seeing it actually being used in this, I think it does kind of make me wonder, like, you know, like what made them bring it along now, like if something happened in Endgame that kind of affected his hearing, like if he was in the battle, or if just something happened recently that kind of affected his hearing, or maybe if he's somewhat like always needed the hearing aid, but then they didn't really give him one until he got his own kind of solo story to focus on. So maybe now that they're focusing on him, they can actually focus on, because I mean that's not really much of an excuse. Like they could still definitely have actually given him a hearing aid much earlier on if he needed one. But you know, and I want to say better late than never, but then, you know, like Makari, you know, right off the bat, right off her first movie, even it being especially it being a teen movie, like right off the first movie, she's been, you know, given everything she needs to actually be her own authentic self too. So she gets what she needs, and she uses it as appropriately as appropriately as she needs it. So, you know, if they were waiting, then I don't know what they were waiting for with giving Clint a hearing aid now. So I don't know if that also means where we actually might see him using sign language, or if he actually might kind of use more lip reading. But I think like a really, really cool tidbit too. After Eternals, I think there was a thing. I can't remember what the exact number was. I think it was like 25 or 26%. Like, there was actually, after the release of Eternals and people going to see Eternals, there was a 26 or 25. Somewhere in the 20s kind of percent increase in people actually wanting to learn sign language. So that is easily one of the coolest things that a superhero movie has done, let alone an actual movie in general. One of the coolest things a superhero movie is done, actually encouraging people to actually, you know, like, not only, you know, people falling in love with the character and actually kind of doing it because like the use of sign language in the movie was so flawless, and it was so open and inclusive and so like well executed and everything, like they actually did it in a way that actually worked well, and that kind of encouraged people to actually look into a bit more and actually do stuff. And you know, that is just super cool. That is unbelievably cool. So I mean, I'm wondering like how far they might go with that in this. And I think even Alako Cox, I think even Echo, I think Echo actually I think Echo uses echolocation, but I don't know if she also has a hearing aid, or if she just kind of or if she just uses echolocation to do things. But I think she might be like I think for her, I think maybe she might have a similar kind of thing to Matt Murdock, but then she just might use echolocation to do her thing. And we've had Daredevil too, again, blind lawyer and an awesome fighter, so he uses that kind of stuff too. So yeah, you know, like disabilities of whatever kind, you know, in like no matter how visible or, you know, invisible they are, disabilities do not prohibit you from being a superhero in any way. You know, you can easily, you know, adapt those things to be, you know, even more of a superhero, or even being a superhero, you know, like nothing like that, like no matter who you are, where you're from, what you can or can't do, none of that stuff should prohibit you from being a superhero. So I am very excited to see how they actually approach that in the series, and how like much they do, but also like what they can and like actually, well, what they try and do with it in the upcoming episodes too. So it's really cool. It's really cool. And I think it's super duper cool to see Clint actually using that too. So I'm hoping we actually see like how he actually did maybe them exploring how much of his hearing can be used, and how much he can hear, and like what he can't hear, and like maybe what he kind of struggles with or something, or maybe him kind of exploring other routes as well, like sign or whatever. So it'll be cool to see. It'll be cool to see. But I think actually seeing that he's using a hearing aid is actually really cool. So yeah. And yeah, just God. You see, it's a good thing that there was actually some promotional material released of of Kate in the black tuxedo, because as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, it's a good thing they're preparing me for this with these pictures, because I honestly, like, if they hit me with that out of nowhere in the episode, I don't know, I'd probably have to pause and take a minute and you know, like, actually gather myself and everything, which I mean, I still had to gather myself, but I just, you know, I was lucky enough to actually have seen those pictures before, that I kind of, you know, I was familiar with it already. But no, yeah, Kate in the all black. So I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, I couldn't gather my words then. I can't gather my words now, which is only accurate. It's only really only accurate, but no. God, I mean, I honestly don't know if it's a better thing that they actually got it out of the way with the first episode, or if it's just like a double whammy actually being hit with it in the first episode. Because then, you know, I was like, when her mother told her to put on the red dress, I was like, oh my God, like in my mind I was thinking, oh my God, at some point we get her in a black tuxedo and stuff, and then now we get her in a bright red dress. Like it's just, you know, amazing on both ends. Like her in a dress, great. Her in a suit, also great. But then it's like, nah, she's gonna do her own thing. She walks in full on with the black, like all black shirt, black tie, black suit, black and even actually having her hair all tied up in like a nice kind of brunette kind of tail kind of thing to like her hair, like, you know, just God, yes, I am thirsting. I am eternally thirsting. If you're, you know, not, you know, if you can't handle that, then absolutely feel free to, you know, move on and stuff. But yeah, no, good God, I genuinely kind of had to I actually had to balance my mind between Kate in a tuxedo and the rest of the story that was actually happening. Because I think the story did not simply stop at Kate in a tuxedo. Actually, the story progressed and actually introduced other characters, and actually showed Kate herself progressing and discovering new dark secrets and new things and actual story relevant stuff, which I still took in. Don't worry, I still took them in. But still, like, my mind was like half on the story. Like, literally my brain was split between half of it taking in the story and half of it being like Kate in a tuxedo, Haley Steinfeld in a black tuxedo. Like, I literally just couldn't even, you know, I literally couldn't, like, I was forced into multitasking. I was forced into mentally multitasking with actually handling, you know, like one thought and then like a bundle of other thoughts, like, oh, like Armand the Third, okay, like Armand the Third is an old guy, or like there's an Armand the Seventh, and he's like a little kid, and, you know, then, you know, Eleanor and Jake are engaged now, and now that kind of news has just been dropped on Kate and everything, and she's dealing with that, and then she goes to discover that Armand and Jack are both doing shady, you know, underground auction deals in the fucking wine cellar and everything. Like that stuff was on this side. This side was just Kate, black tuxedo, hot, just head empty thoughts, just Haley in a suit, just head empty thoughts, just Haley in a suit. So yeah, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. This is where we thirst over hot women. This is where we do that. This is one of the many places you can find that you know that happens. So yeah, Yeah, just it's written in caps in my notes. I've circled it and everything. It's actually just it was a highlight. It was a highlight for me. It was a very very standout kind of point. So, if you wanna know me, women in suits, definitely my thing. Definitely my thing. So, yeah, and not the first time. I think even Shield. I think Agents of Shield have gone far and wide. They've gone to many different lengths to actually also flabbergast me and catch me speechless in all of their gorgeous women in suits too. They've done it quite a few times here and there. So they are not free from, catching me off guard with their cast members in amazing clothes. So, I've definitely experienced it before, but you'd think, experience would, result in, like ease of handling it the more it happens. But no, in my case, not at all. No, just, each time it happens, I'm just out for the count. So, yeah, but goddamn, she looks so good. She looked good. But yeah, so, and yes, in my case, that was an entire point worth mentioning. In my case, that was definitely an entire point worth mentioning. So yeah, Kate Bishop in all black too. I think she could have easily worn something else that was grey, or I don't know if a white would have worked, but I think she could have worn something that was grey or anything. But I think she probably even had a black belt. She had her hair brunette. Hair even probably even actually black and stuff, or just like a really really dark brown actually tied back and everything. And her eyes, she has. I don't even know if she. I'm pretty sure. I don't even know if Haley's actually wearing contacts for this show or something. But her eyes are just so fucking pretty. And then she's literally wearing every element of her actual clothing is just all black. It's all she showed up even if she, I was gonna make a comment. I'm actually not gonna make that kind of comment. But no. She literally she rocked it. She absolutely rocked it. So. Yeah, Kate Bishop in a tuxedo. So that's the tweet. That's the point. That's the just that. But then we met Armand the Third, who's an old and like an elderly white dude. He was Armand, at least by the end of the episode, he was Armand the Third, and he was there, and he was him. He was very, very momentarily kind of weird and stuff, but then I think even that passed, and he introduced the one below him, technically the one above him, the one with years more to go, Armand. There's a seventh one. There's 7 Armands. There are 7 Armands in the Armand family tree. So now the 7th one is a little kid and stuff who really could not be bothered to be there, and he couldn't really he's not very social and stuff, so he's there and stuff. So there's 7. So now the Armand legacy likely rests on the shoulders of that one kid and stuff. So he's there. Something with Armand the Third being dead now, I guess that means we're going to be seeing Armand the 7th a bit more. Maybe he's gonna maybe he literally will have to carry some kind of Armand legacy on his shoulders, or he might actually have to carry some kind of family business on his shoulders or something. So I think we might see a bit more of him. But they introduced him, so he's there. So the Armands were there, and Armand, I think we met Jack too. Jack is honestly just creepy. He very much kind of seems like a guy you really don't want to trust, and you most likely can't trust either. He definitely seems like a kind of shady kind of guy, and especially him being there at the auction too. And he likes to collect swords. And specifically samurai swords. He has a samurai sword at Eleanor's house too, just very, very neatly and eloquently displayed on its own stand and everything. So there's that. But then he also was at the auction, and they were I think it being like an underground auction, I was expecting a lot more superhero items. I won't lie. I was actually expecting like a lot more kind of stolen or lost or kind of found like lost and found superhero items too, like maybe something from Iron Man or maybe something from Falcon or something, maybe a piece from his old wing, or I don't know, just like a lot more than what they showed, because they had one kind of regular auction-y kind of looking item, which was the giant dinosaur skull that was 2.5 or 7 million, it went out for 2 point something million. So there was that, and then of course they actually had a ticket to the Avengers compound, so they actually managed to steal to actually get their hands on not only Ronan's sword, but also Ronan's costumes. I think watching the trailer, I think it definitely kind of felt I think some people might have said it was actually Ronan's costume, but I think looking back at the trailer, I think it actually kind of felt it actually might be a really good remake, a remodel of Ronan's actual costume that Kate managed to do. So, but then no, this one, she gets her hands on the suit, and then Jack, after the Russians attack, the Russians being present too, after the Russians attack, he gets his hands on the sword, and the sword is a retractable thing too, so it actually kind of, switches down to just the handle, and then you flick it up, and then it's a sword and everything, so very nifty sword. So, yeah, Jack got his hands on the sword, and he put it in his pockets. I think I'm wondering if maybe Jack killed Armand, because Armand did threaten Elena in her own office earlier, and I think even the words he used, like, I have some, I have some very, very powerful connections and very powerful friends and stuff, and they're the kind of people you don't want to mess with, so he did that. So I think, Kate was eavesdropping on that, and she heard that, but then I do wonder maybe if, like, when Eleanor went back to the party, she maybe told Jack, and then he heard that, and then he showed up at the auction, probably knowing that, that Armand would be there and stuff. So then I think with him having pocketed the actual thing, it feels fairly logical to think that maybe he followed him home, or he actually, broke into his home and then actually killed him. It's like, because the guy was stabbed, but then there was no knife there. Like the knife had either been taken out or it had been retracted or something. So he was definitely stabbed, but no actual murder weapon had been left behind. So maybe this is actually Jack's way of saying, if you won't leave my wife, if you won't leave my fiancée alone, then I'll make you leave her alone. So yeah, he must have done it. He must have been the one who done it. So yeah, I guess we'll see in good enough time. So Armand III is now dead, and I think if anyone actually was looking forward to seeing more of him, then one can only hope that he lived a long and fruitful life of making all those connections with terrible people and stuff. So yeah, that was Armand III. So yeah, but then the auction, the auction. I think from what I remember too, the auction really only actually showed off like 2 different items. I think the dinosaur thing went first, and then, we only saw 2 of the items being auctioned. I think they like in the background of Kate trying to be sneaky and stuff. They could have easily auctioned off more stuff, but then I think the last thing they got their hands on was in fact, I talk way too fast and run out of breath, was in fact Ronan's sword, and then the counterpiece being the suit too. So they had the suit like neatly packed up in a box and everything, and then the actual sword was, I think, probably in its own case or whatever. So then Jack picked up the sword, and then Kate picked up the suit, and she wasted no time putting it on. Like I think she didn't even really kind of know or think about whether it would fit, or whether if it would actually look too baggy on her. Surprisingly, it's a great fit. Surprisingly enough, it's actually like a really great fit on her. And stuff. So I think she definitely has like a noticeably smaller frame that that kind of works for her, but then still it's like a surprisingly kind of great and solid fit on her. So it works. And then she proves she does not need the sword. She proves that she can easily handle herself as Ronin, or fairly easily handle herself as Ronin against like a bunch of professional Russian assassin thief dudes and stuff. Like she actually just incorporates some wine bottles into that. She starts dual wielding wine bottles and going for the head and the arm and the neck and doing all sorts of tricks, and even actually stepping on that one bottle and just something flying into the guy's head. Kate Bishop has tricks. If there's one thing she has, it's tricks. So she definitely is tricky and sneaky and talented. Give her some wine bottles and she'll be raring to go at some Russians. So she definitely handled herself in that, and that kind of choreography was, I think the choreography in that one was actually really kind of still like for the sake of it being the beginning, it was still simplistic but great. So it actually showed how she can still, she's by no means like a professional assassin fighter like Clint is or like the Russians are, but she still knows how to handle herself, and she still knows how to. I think the kind of great kind of display in that was actually her fight or flight thing, like her actually still kind of standing there for like a few seconds, actually being like, okay, should I really fight, or should I actually kind of actually run and try and fight another day? And then afterwards, I think the one move she actually does kind of somewhat manage to throw before ensuing a full fight is actually, kick flipping the bottle, and then she still does like a whole kind of like a semi scissor kick, like she actually does kind of wrap herself around the guy and floor him and everything. So I think I think her fight or flight thing in those moments is still kind of greatly displayed, but then even her fights are still kind of simplistic, yet they still manage to get the job done. So I think I'm so far liking that display of her talents and her and stuff. And I think especially like since she likely has never been in a fight against actual professional killers before, she still handled herself great in that context too. So I think her actually starting off, she is already doing better than I think most people would be. So yeah, it was great. And one thing they actually mentioned that kind of got me by surprise too was that the Ronin's ID was still a mystery. Like no one actually know. Like in all 5 years, no one actually knew who Ronin was. They just kind of, I think, they just knew I think the Avengers disbanded, like, or at least, or like, well, some of them stayed. I think the Avengers, as they knew it, disbanded, but then some of them stayed behind, and then the ones who stayed behind were led by Natasha, of course. But then, like, for the most part, the Avengers disbanded and did their own thing. And then others kind of left and retired and did their own thing and stuff. So I think like the world, I mean, the entire universe as they knew it was changed forever, or at least, like from their perspective for forever. But as we know it, for 5 years and everything. So in those 5 years, no one knew who Ronan was. I don't know if people just kind of assumed that Hawkeye died, or maybe he kind of left or something. But I think as Ronin, he also never really used arrows. I think he used shurikens and like throwing stars and stuff. Like he turned into like a full-on ninja, but he never actually used the bow and arrow again, or at least in the fight scene we saw, he didn't use bow and arrows again. He fully donned like a whole new costume. He turned into a much more violent fighter. Like he actively killed in like a much more visible and threatening way. So he adopted the necessary tactics for that. So I think he kind of opted for a sword and more deadly throwing projectiles too. So that was that. So I think in that time, I don't know if people presumed that Hawkeye died and Ronin came from his ashes, or if if maybe even some people kind of like, I'm wondering if we might have some people kind of theorizing over the next few episodes, like maybe Hawkeye actually just became Ronin because of how bad things were and like how badly things went down and stuff. So yeah, but I think despite everything, I think people still recognize him as the vigilante that terrorized the criminals. Like he, like that was his mission. Like him actually going after all the criminals who did survive the snaps. Then people kind of accurately recognize that, oh yeah, he terrorized. Like he was still scary to a lot of people, but then he was still known for actually being an active threat and imminent danger towards people from the criminal underworld who is still thriving and who is still operating in the wake of half of the population having been killed off and everything. So people still recognize that and everything. So. And then I think now with even more criminals having been brought back in the wake of the second blip, they still, people have come back, and I think maybe even the gangs that have come back have actually come back to finding their older gang members having been killed off or been destroyed, or their operations having been turned upside down by the Ronin in those 5 years. So now I think because of that, seeing the Ronin back, I think even the newscaster said it's been years since we've seen him in action. So I think because of that, like people, all those gangs who might have lost something to Ronin, now seeing him back on the streets too, actually kind of deciding, oh, we now have a whole new bone to pick and everything. So that kind of exploration is going to be really interesting to see. And then of course when Ronin does come back, it's actually Kate in Ronin's costume. So yeah, fun stuff, super duper fun stuff. The world doesn't know. So I think that then must mean that the kids also might not know, because I really don't know if like we're starting the story off with Clint having told his family everything. Like maybe maybe he didn't really tell them that, oh yeah, when you were gone, I was so I was sucked so deep into my own rabbit hole of anger and depression that I started going around killing people, but only bad people. He turned into like Dexter, but in the superhero universe and everything. And stuff. So I'm guessing he must have hidden that kind of stuff, or maybe I don't know if he because I feel like if he would have told any of them, then any of them would still be appropriately shocked by that information. So I think he's definitely keeping it from all of them, because especially because his kids didn't even recognize him being the Ronin in the news reports. So I think none of them really mentioned oh, isn't that who used to be Dad, when we were gone for 5 years and everything. So no mention of that kind of a thing. So no one actually knows that the Ronin was who used to be Hawkeye. So they still think that those are two different entities and everything. So yeah. But I do wonder, I think along with PTSD from the blip, and of course from losing Natasha too, I do wonder maybe if Clint might have some PTSD from being Ronin too, because I think it's very clear even to him, it's very clear that that was a different time for him. But then it was also a time of nothing but darkness. It was him literally being consumed by anger and vengeance, and him kind of feeling the criminals who survived do not deserve to survive, when people as innocent as his family were killed and everything. So then I think I'm curious to see if they might actually explore just how angry he was during that period, and him actually revisiting that time in his mind, and him actually being forced to confront the identity and the kind of the spirit of the Ronin in this series too, like because I think him seeing someone as like, I mean, him even unmasking Kate as Ronan too, like he sees like a young girl dressing up as this violent killer that he became during the snap, and actually wondering why anyone would want to do that after what the Ronin was and after what the Ronin did and everything. So then he, you know, like Kate herself might not even know the full extent of what the Ronin was or what he did, so she might just, you know, like recognize, because I think, I mean, if no one knows, I think I'm wondering, mate, like could she know, or maybe like did she steal the Ronin suit just kind of like actually kind of like did she steal the Ronin suit just like knowing it was like a violent vigilante during the blip? Because then I think that would imply that would, I feel like that would also like I mean, again, based on how far after that, like how long after the blip this series takes place, I think it would kind of imply that she either actually found out about the Ronin after she came back, if she was blipped, or maybe if she was actually still alive, then maybe she actually was somewhat aware of the Ronin during the blip. So then, either I think it raises the question of like, you know, like did she steal the Ronin suit because she knew who the Ronin was, or did she steal it because she knew that's what Hawkeye used to be? So then either way, it's like, you know, like she either sees it as like I mean, in that moment she likely saw it more than anything as like a quick kind of exit out of like a potentially kind of exposure filled situation. But then at the same time, it's like, you know, is she also wearing the Ronin suit knowing exactly who it is, or is she just wearing it just because it's like it symbolizes someone who fights back and someone who actually gets the job done and stuff. So that kind of exploration between Clint and Kate as well, like him actually having to tell her that, you know, like the Ronin is not a good guy. He was like a very, very dark and very dangerous man who, you know, should not have been around, but then he did some like dark stuff during that time that he'd rather not revisit and everything. So that kind of exploration is going to be really interesting to see. So hopefully soon enough we'll, you know, be able to see that kind of taking place too. So that will be fun. And yeah, we had pizza. We had one slice of pizza. We had one slice of pizza, but then that one slice of pizza being eaten by none other than Lucky the pizza dog. So Lucky, the pizza dog, has arrived, and he had like a few scenes here and there, but you know, easily still stealing the scene he was in. Like him immediately detecting that guy being a shady ass delivery dude for underground black market kind of auction items and stuff, and him, you know, immediately chomping on that guy's leg and forcing him to let go of the ticket and to let go of all the stuff and everything. So him being there and that guy being a douchebag, just, you know, randomly kicking a dog that attacks him and everything. So I mean, he's a bad guy. He deserves to at least have like a few tooth marks here and there from a dog. But I mean, yeah, like him still being present, even Kate actually, like, I mean, Kate and Lucky having met earlier too, and then like actually setting up the present for that kind of interaction later on, and then her actually coming across Lucky chomping on the dude's leg, and then that dude actually using his other leg to actually try and kick Lucky too, and then her, you know, taking initiative and actually helping Lucky escape, and then both of them escaping, and then her taking him back to his apartment, her taking him back to her apartment and everything. So yeah, then again she has an apartment of her own, which is again suitable for her, not super lavish, but still plenty for her to actually get by on, which I think is just what she likes and everything. So, and she has one slice of clearly open, like an open box of uneaten pizza. So one slice of pizza, I think him being a pizza dog, she could have at least ordered more, and then he could easily just kind of you know, get up on his hind legs and answer the door for himself, and you know, just communicate and tell them that he was definitely the one receiving the order. So could have easily ordered him more pizza, but no, I think maybe that comes in later. Maybe the point is for them to actually be able to share the pizza later on. So yeah, but Lucky, I cannot wait to see more of him. I cannot wait to see more of the best boy Lucky, or at least one of the best boys. So yeah, Lucky the pizza dog is here, so we can all rejoice. But yeah, I think off the top of my head, that's pretty much everything I can think of. After an initial viewing, that's almost everything I can think of. Everything I've written, it's definitely everything I've written down. I only really have half a page of notes. I think that kind of surprises me ish. But I think everything I've actually kind of, you know, clocked onto. It didn't really seem like that packed of an episode either. It didn't really seem like it had like that much going on to really kind of have to, you know, to have to rewatch it twice just to actually get a better glimpse. And I think it's a 2-episode premiere too, so I don't think that means it's like a part 1 and a part 2, but still just like them just kind of being generous and being like, hey, here, have 2 episodes. Like it's almost Christmas. I have 2 episodes early, like right off the bat on us. So I'll be watching the second. I'll probably be watching the second episode tonight. So I think again, with editing and other shows I'm actually trying to kind of get picked up back on the channel later on this week too. I'm hoping maybe this comes out at least by the weekend, so you know, if you're watching this, then hopefully it's the weekend at least. So yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, I'll be catching the second episode as soon as I can, and then getting these both up swiftly. So yeah, for now, I think that I feel like that's it. But then again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Knowing me, I'll probably remember, you know, I'll probably remember and like something else after I finish recording, and then if I do, I'll probably just gonna mention that in the second episode reaction. So either way, I'll mention it at some point. But yeah, this was a great premiere. This was an absolutely solid premiere. I think I actually really I think I enjoyed it for what it was, which wasn't like hugely energetic or hugely kind of dramatic or anything, but it was still like suitable for its kind of for its opener, and actually kind of still like bringing back Clint Barton into the MCU and actually introducing Kate Bishop as this new young energetic kind of player, and actually her being the newcomer to the face of the Young Avengers, and you know, her actually being like a newer player in that sense too. So I think I'm really looking forward to seeing how much more kind of story she gets in this, and how much more they actually flesh her up before they actually tease us with anything else, like an actual movie or like a solo series or something. So and very excited to see who the other people popping up too. I think I'm very excited to see Echo when she pops up, and Yelena. Just give me Yelena and Kate together, and I will know peace. Just give me them two, and I will know peace. I will have peace when I see them actually tag teaming random assassins, and Clint just watching in the background wondering when to jump in and what to do and everything. So I fully expect that's how it happens. I fully expect that's how any kind of team up actually happens. Either Clint on his own, just in the background doing some stuff, and then, you know, Yelena and Kate being the actual kind of focal kind of point of any and all fight scenes, or maybe just like them two just rushing in headfirst into a fight, and then Clint just in the background like, okay, I'm gonna take that guy. No, you got that guy, and then him just kind of just wondering, or just him like firing arrows from the background, and then Yelena and Kate actually doing full on hand to hand stuff and tag teams. I think it's gonna be awesome either way. It's gonna be awesome. So. So yeah, looking forward to everything that this series has to offer, and to see where it goes from here. So yeah, that was my official reaction for the very first episode of Marvel Studios Hawkeye. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and button that like button. Comment on what you thought of the series premiere, and what you think is going to be coming up next in Hawkeye's show, and what you hope to see, and what you'd like to see, and what your theories are on where this is going and stuff like that. And once again, the full-length reaction over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you next time.